the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Tonight we'll be talking about separation, Pastor Lucas. Yes, for the first time ever, we are bringing this topic here.
The order of the day is to separate.
To separate. If you are now living, a problematic marriage, if you say, Pastor, myself and my spouse, we've been fighting every single day. There is nothing on earth that is making this marriage to work. What do we do? What is the advice tonight?
Don't even think about it.
Separation. That's what you have to do. But hey, hold on. Before you call into your solicitors already preparing for the divorce papers, we're not talking about divorce. We're talking about that. Let's put, please, Pastor Maurice, separate yourselves from what separates you, right? We're going to watch now a report that we prepared about tonight's topic. Stay tuned.
Why do some relationships fail at first? Is it possible to resolve a problem that initially caused the relationship to end and allow love to prevail again? The answer appears to be a resounding yes in the life of this much-loved Hollywood couple. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck first met in 2002 on the set of their movie Gigli. At the time, Lopez was married to her second husband, Chris Judd. However, Lopez and Judd later divorced in 2003, with Lopez and Affleck going public with their romance shortly after. The two quickly became one of the biggest couples in Hollywood and were one of the first to receive a hybrid couple name, Bennifer. At the end of the same year, Lopez revealed her engagement to Affleck. They were set to get married in late 2003, but one day before the ceremony, they announced the postponement of their marriage. Due to the excessive media attention surrounding our wedding, we have decided to postpone the date, they said in a statement at the time. When we found ourselves seriously contemplating hiring 3 separate decoy brides at 3 different locations, we realized that something was awry. At the beginning of the following year, the couple then officially split up. The intense media attention was one of the main factors identified as the reason for their breakup. In 2010, looking back on their split during an appearance on the Graham Norton show, Lopez spoke about the media pressure that the couple suffered. I love Ben. He's a great guy, but it was a lot for both of us to be under that type of siege for 2 years straight. We were on the cover of every magazine, every week. It was just a weird thing. Our relationship, I think, did suffer because of that. According to a source, another reason why things had not worked out for the couple was the fact that they were on different paths. They were on very different paths at the end of it. Jennifer was ready to settle down and have kids, but Ben wasn't keen on giving up his bachelor lifestyle just yet. In the end, she got tired of waiting for him to come round, the source said. The couple went their different ways, but in 2021, rumors that the pair were reaching out to each other started to surge. According to sources and paparazzi photos, the couple had started to spend some time together. Lopez confirmed the rumors that they were back together by posting a picture of them kissing on Instagram during her birthday trip to Saint-Tropez. About their relationship, a source has said that they have talked about the past and why things didn't work out then. They are both hopeful about their relationship this time round and are putting the effort in. They have both matured and are on the same page, and it has been easy. Hopefully the couple have since matured with time, and with this have learned how to eliminate the problems that caused them to split in the first place. On tonight's program, you will learn how to fight for your relationship by joining forces against the problems that keep a couple apart. Be sure to stay tuned.
Why do people nowadays prefer to split up instead of eliminating the problem that separates them?
I think it depends on the couple, to be honest. I think that some couples just find that they're not compatible, or maybe the problem that they're facing is a problem that you can't fix, so you have to break up. It depends on stages of the relationship, really. Maybe like from earlier on you sort of realise that you're not compatible.
I think the reason for that is because life itself is already stressful and people have their own personal issues that they have to deal with. So to come into a relationship and have to take on someone else's problem, it feels like extra luggage, and people in life don't want extra luggage, and that's what a relationship can feel like if it's stressful.
I think it's interesting when entering entering relationships to really understand whether this person is the right person. And I don't think that relationships are necessarily meant to last. And it's very important to leave the relationship when it needs to be left.
We live in a pretty quick fix society, and they kind of, people don't stick with things, they don't stick, everything changes so quickly, our devices upgrade quickly, they're obsolete so quickly, and I think it's that mentality that we've all gotten into, let's move on to the next.
Is it easier to change partners or to change your behavior and ideas in order to maintain a relationship?
I think it depends on how much you love your partner. I think if you admire and love your partner, you will make the changes for them. But I think if the love is weak, you would rather cut them off because it doesn't feel worth it. Because if you love the person enough, you're going to be able to make any changes to make that person comfortable and make the relationship work.
I'm in a relationship myself, and if you love the person, like we've been together for 3.5 years, and you want to make it work, then yeah, you do change things, but it's about not changing too much though. It's a fine line, but yeah, of course, if you want it to work and you believe in the relationship and you want to stay with the person, there are definitely sacrifices that you have to make. It's definitely easier to just change partners, like definitely.
I don't think it's very easy to change somebody. I think you can grow together and try different things together and see what works together. But I think if you're coming at it like, this is what I want and you have to change, it's probably not going to work. But I think if you grow together and try different things, try different ways of doing things, you may have more success.
You have to make sacrifices. In order to make a relationship work, the sacrifices have to be made. For example, me, I can be quite distant at times and focused on what I'm doing. But if I'm in a relationship, I now have to make a sacrifice of my time. So I need to now think about my partner and think about how do I spend more time with them and still balance out having my own life and dealing with my own responsibilities. So yeah, I think everyone has to make sacrifices. I don't think there's any relationship where you don't have to make a sacrifice.
I get that some people don't want to change who they are, but it's not just about changing who you are. Like, it could be bettering who you are, you have to adapt to mold into a relationship. I think it might just be like taking the high road if you just, face a problem and then you're like, oh, it's too much, I think, like, how are you ever gonna learn and grow and change for the better?
Yes, Pastor Lucas. So as you can see, people, they are not quite wrong about, this. But the reality is just one. People, one of the people interviewed, they said that, that we are living in a society nowadays that, you can easily, change things. You can upgrade your device. You can, you can upgrade your car. If today you have a phone for more than 2 years, people, what is wrong with you? Because we are so used to, change things, upgrade things. And this kind of mentality is also affecting relationships.
Yeah, people change partners like they change clothes nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, it wasn't like this. Divorce was something shameful. People wouldn't get married thinking about divorce. And nowadays, divorce is an easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy way out.
Yeah.
For any little thing they can find, they can think of, they're already talking about divorce.
But the question is, if you are willing to separate, because when you're talking about separation, when you talk about divorce, we're talking about something that you're going to lose. You're talking about a loss. So if I have to lose something, if I have to how can I say, give up on something, why don't I give up on the problems, on my personality? So that's the question. Why do couple not separate from what separates them? Because we have this, this power of decision. We can decide, in let go, okay, we can change ourselves. And Pastor Lucas, this is so true. This is so true because we're not talking about religion. We're not even about faith now. This is the pure reality of all of us, of humankind. If you look back, you see that regardless what is your faith, your background, if you look back, you are not the same from 10 years ago. We are changing every single day. The experiences we live, everything that happened to us changes us somehow. So someone, they convince themselves, oh, no, that's who I am. I'm not willing to change. That's a mistake, right? Because we have to change. We can change. And this is, very much necessary for those who want to live, a stable relationship. So, going back to the question, why do couples not separate from what separates them? Okay, the answer is quite simple. Because they don't know exactly what is separating them. As Pastor Luca was saying, perhaps you are considering, a little thing, but you don't see what is behind that little thing. Because when you talk about emotions and feelings, usually the problem that a couple describes as a reason for the separation, Pastor Lucas, is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not the whole thing. It's not the whole picture. So the first thing you should do is that you have to identify. You have to identify what separates you both. That's the very first thing. Even before you're thinking about change, I have to change my husband, he has to change in this and that, my wife has to change in this and that. Even before trying to force or to impose this transformation, this change, on each other, you have first to identify what is separating you both. And you have here a list, and we can, Pastor Lucas, now discuss upon this list. Let's show, please, Pastor Morris. The first topic is, let's see, identify what separates you both. Is it behavior? So, look at that. We have here, when you speak about behavior, there are many things involved, right? But as you were saying, perhaps the person, is grabbed to that 1%, a little thing that the person stopped doing. For example, let's talk about romanticism. How many people they say, but my spouse stopped being romantic, with me. What is the problem? Perhaps, the person is causing that reaction. But what they can see is that, he's not being romantic, so something is wrong. But you're not looking at yourself to see what if you are also causing or provoking that thing.
What is the root of the problem? Right?
Yeah.
Like you said, this is the tip of the iceberg. But if you go deep, if you try to investigate, to identify what is really wrong, and you go deep and you ask yourself the right questions, you're going to go to the root cause, and you'll be able to solve it.
People, they cannot, be in a relationship. They cannot have the benefits of a marriage and also wait or not letting go of the benefits. I don't see many benefits in being single, but but I want you to keep living my single life, my singleton life, but I don't want to but I want also the benefits of being married.
This falls into the category of mindset, different mindset, right? One person is still wanna live like a bachelor's life, and the other person is ready to settle, to have kids, is more mature. The other person still wants to live the life out there. So different mindset. This can be adjusted. This can be, this can be solved with talk, with communication.
Exactly. Things that they must be, adjusted. For example, goals. I even remember a couple that, it was a couple of years ago, that we were trying to help them. And look at the problem, Pastor Lucas. They were living here in the UK. I believe they are still living here in the UK. Not sure. It was a couple of years ago. And the guy, he was from a certain country and his wife from a different country. And they were living together here in the UK for over 10 years, 13 or 14 years altogether. 2 children, beautiful family, everything, apparently perfect. But they had a problem. She found out that he was already building a house in his homeland.
Without her knowing.
Yes. Because he was thinking, okay, I'm already, preparing, everything because After, a couple of years from now, we're going to move to my country. But on the other side, she was also planning to go back to her homeland, to her, country.
They had different goals.
Different goals.
And they forgot to tell each other.
Exactly. But what is, the thing that most impressed me about it? They were living together for over 10 years. Over 10 years.
Never spoke about it.
And they never had this conversation. How on earth is that possible?
And this is something singles, they need to learn.
Yeah.
Singles, you need to make sure you are in the same level of maturity, you have the same mindset, and you have the same goals. You need to talk about goals.
Yeah.
Dating is not just kissing. More importantly is talking. Is to make sure you are on the same page.
Pastor Lucas, these last two things, items in our list, I believe they are also, they're very important. How many couples they are, facing problems in their relationship because they are allowing people and things to interfere in their relationship.
Family members.
I would start with that, but since you started, go ahead, because this is a problem.
Who some people, they insist in living with family members.
Yeah.
Who always get in the way of the relationship. Whenever they're fighting, they take sides and they interfere in their relationship, right? We have to be careful. Even children from another marriage, it can be a problem. Exes, right? People, how you handle this, you need to be careful. You need to talk this over before you start a relationship.
The idea of a marriage is a covenant between two people. But when you allow that, external interference start to affect this covenant, that will be problematic. You know why? Because in a marriage, there is only space for two. It's impossible for you to, because when you try to fit someone else there, but it's my mom, I'm sorry, mommy, you have to give up because there is only room for two here. Oh, but it's my dad, it's my sister, it's my brother, it's my friend, my friend from my childhood. I'm so sorry. It's a covenant. There's no room for other people here. Again, sometimes people hear us, talking about not allowing family to interfere. Again, it's important to emphasize, if you are in a situation where you are suffering some kind of abuse, you need support of your family. That's something else, okay? We are not considering that. If you're suffering, physical, emotional abuse, that's a completely different thing. You should go and seek help with the authorities, go in and seek, support with your family. You can come and seek also support from us because we are here to help you. But if is that not the case, when you start allowing people to interfere, that will be a problem. And also things. And what are these things? I believe one of the things that most interfere in marriage and relationship, it's money. Lack of money, and people, they don't know how to deal with money. That's the thing, because they allow money to be a problem because they okay, that's my money, that's your money, similar to what we said one of these days.
And buying things as well.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Without letting the partner know. So they are putting things before their marriage, and they go there, they buy something without letting the husband, the wife know. And when they arrive at home, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
The final question is, what if you both separate from what separates you? Oh, but it's hard because that's my way, that's my money, that's my family, that's this and that. Okay, so you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision because in a marriage there is just room for two. And the problems start when you start trying to put things, between you two. Oh, but that's my pride. That's, my ways. That's my family. That's my money. What else? That's my personality. That's my personal goals. My friends, the idea of a marriage is to merge, is to become one. And of course, when you become one with someone else, you have to be ready for for some losses, because it's impossible, right, Pastor Lucas?
Yeah, some couples, some people, they say, no, you met me this way, that's how I am, and I'm not gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
When we met, I was already like this. You knew before we got married that I was like this. I'm not gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pride. That doesn't happen. We have to get better every single day. We have to adjust. We have to learn from our mistakes. We need to be ready to separate ourselves from things that are hurting our relationship.
Yes, indeed. You know, it's a matter of decision, because at the end of the day, you will separate. At the end of the day, if you are in a relationship and this relationship is not working, you will separate, either from your spouse or from the problems or the external interferences that they are, in this moment, affecting your relationship. So it's a matter of choice. So I hope you make a wise choice.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.